The Indiana Pacers outscore the Raptors by 22 points in the fourth quarter and win in what turned out to be a blowout. Let's do our best to break it down for you in the post-game show. So this is a game where Siakam and VanVleet are not available. And the Pacers were actually favored going into this game as a result of that. So losing to the Pacers isn't the worst thing in the world tonight. They're not as bad as it would have seemed going into the season. They were 5-6. They are now 6-6. They're 500, just like the Raptors are at 7-7 after this loss and yesterday's loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder. But the manner in which we lost is completely unacceptable from any NBA team, no matter what talent level they are, especially one like the Raptors who have aspirations of being a playoff team and winning a playoff series this season. Gary Trent Jr. is getting paid $18 million this season. No Siakam or VanVleet today. And he was so bad tonight. He was so bad that he didn't close the game when it was close for a while, but he got taken out of the game in a tight game in the fourth because he was that bad tonight. Scottie Barnes somehow connived his way into 39 minutes. He was absolutely horrendous offensively. Rebounding was good. The passing was fine. The defense looked lost at times, but ultimately it wasn't a horrible defensive display. He goes 4 for 16. He goes 0 for 4 on threes, but does not hit routine jump shots with any degree of consistency. We get a bunch of energy from our bench in the first half. It all deflates in the second half. We led by 13 at half. Then we went up by 15. Everything was looking good. The energy levels were up high. We were making shots in the second quarter, getting stops. Just effort things. We were forcing more turnovers. We were out-rebounding a team that was bigger than us. We were outworking them. We were hustling in transition. We were getting back on defense in transition. All gone in the third and fourth quarter, specifically the fourth quarter, where they outscore us 36-14. Coaching-wise, Nick Nurse, personnel-wise, I don't know why Scottie got as much time as he did. Gary Trent got 20 minutes and deserved to only get 20 today. My beef with Nick Nurse today has to be the timeouts, because if Indiana went on a run, he would try to force these guys to play out of it. Always does. Indiana fought back into the game multiple times from big deficits, and we let them because we couldn't call a timeout. They stayed hot, got in the game, and it was too much for us to handle by the end of the game. Second night in a row where it's a depressing loss, and you get absolutely blown the fuck out by the Thunder yesterday. And you thought that was bad? You thought that couldn't get any worse? This has to feel worse. You're leading by such a margin. I don't care who's available. Inexcusable to lose this game. And there's a whole host of reasons why they lose it. We shoot 39% from the field. We shoot 20% from three. They shoot 50 and 44. What do you expect to happen? Could not hit a shot to save our life. And the important players you need to step up when your big hitters, Siakam and VanVleet, are out, go into absolute hiding on offense. Gary Trent may as well have not shown up tonight, because that's about how effective he was on the floor. Scottie Barnes cannot hit a routine layup with consistency. And it's second-year slump, whatever it is. I'm not saying that he can't go on to have a successful season, but holy fuck, he needs to be way better than this, and he needs to help this team win basketball games. Because in the last 2 weeks, barring the first of that back-to-back against the Bulls where he had 19 points, he has absolutely not been doing that. He is one of the Raptors' offense looks at its absolute worst when Scottie Barnes is posting up. Something that was like automatic buckets last season, where he could turn and push a shot in with his right. Again, automatically. Does that mean he's a bad player? No. But he needs to step up for this fucking team, especially with Siakam out. There was all this talk of Fred taking away shots from Scottie Barnes. All this talk of Siakam taking away shots from Scottie Barnes. We're studying his development. It's Scottie. He's got to show more effort, and he's got to do more for this team. Like, think about if Siakam was playing like this. Siakam was at an MVP level, and people were talking shit that he was taking touches away from Scottie Barnes. People were talking shit that Siakam plays too much, and he takes touches away from other players. Like, we're seeing Barnes now when he's got to be the primary guy, and he's not stepping up to the occasion. So, he's got to be better. I believe he will be better, because he can't get much worse than this. We need to bounce back from Scottie Barnes, and this team desperately needs it. Back-to-back losses to the Thunder and the Pacers. Not horrible teams, but those are very winnable games for a team like the Toronto Raptors. Statistically, Thad had a good first half, didn't really do much second half, but really, really good first half. Otto Porter Jr. had a good first half, did nothing in the second half at all, really. OG was pretty great throughout this game on offense. Wasn't hitting his threes as normal. Had good defense. He was excellent tonight, really. 26 points on 9 for 16. Didn't have any help. Barnes, like I said, I've said enough. 4 for 16 there. Look, he rebounded well. He passed the ball well. He's too good to just do that, though. And to leave Isaiah Jackson wide open under the rim. And then leave Isaiah Jackson wide open under the rim again. And then to leave Benedict Mathurin wide open for 3. He just looks lost. And definitively looks like he's lacking any effort whatsoever. I see a lot of people saying he's injured. That's why he's not playing well. He played 39 minutes. You play 39 minutes, you're not injured. You're healthy because you're playing basketball. You're not 100%, sure, but you can hit a layup. Gary Trent, 20 minutes, $18 million, plays 20 minutes because he was that bad, as I said. Boucher starts really well, brings the energy. Honestly, was pretty good throughout the game. Struggled to impact the second half, though, as many did. 6 for 18, 2 for 8 from 3. 8 rebounds. Some good things, but we needed more from elsewhere. Juancho goes 0 for 1. Honestly, he wasn't that bad today. We're not really using him as intended. We signed him to be a three-point shooter. He's playing like a big. He did fine in that job, but like, why do we sign him to do that and not somebody else? Koloko didn't get a ton of minutes. I actually don't know why. I thought he looked okay in those 6 minutes. Flynn, good in the first half. Really good in the first half. Was dictating the offense, was hitting shots, making tough layups, disappeared second half. Banton, same thing, disappeared second half. Their side of things, they shot the ball so well because they were open all the time. They got to the rim with low resistance. It was bad. Team stats, at halftime, they look so good. We get more possessions. Let's see. We were out-rebounding them at half. They ended up having 8 more than us. Turnover-wise, we forced 21 turnovers. We only committed 4 turnovers in the second half. But they just obliterated us from points. We shoot 39 from the field. We shoot 20 from 3. We were just brutal second half. We let ourselves down. We absolutely fell apart and let ourselves down. It was just not good enough. These guys did not play to an NBA level in the second half. Tough to really for Nick Nurse to throw out any lineups to change that. He was using the bench. He was using all these players. These guys weren't playing up to the task. I don't know. The timeouts are on Nurse, but I don't really see how he could have thrown anything different there. Guys weren't doing their jobs on defense. Guys weren't hitting shots. I mean, you shoot 20% from 3. You're not going to win a basketball game. So here the Raptors are. We lost 2 in a row now. Maybe people will point out the fact that we are on a back-to-back. We're now 0 for 3 on the second nights of back-to-backs. The Pacers hadn't played since Wednesday, so maybe they were fresher, and maybe, hey, in the fourth quarter they had more of the fresh legs. But no, we were just so bad. We were just so bad that the Pacers ran us out of the building, and we're 7-7. So where do we go from here? Well, we definitely don't tank, obviously. This is a good team. We had 2 bad games. We should have been 12 minutes away from being 8-6, where we talk about how good this Raptors team is and how good these guys are for winning this game with Siakam and VanVleet available. We're not talking like that, but this season is not a wash. This is a good team dealing with an injury to their best player. We should be playing better despite that. We're dealing with an injury to our second best player. We should have played better despite that. A loss to the Pacers isn't the end of the world, but the way we played here, maybe the Sun will certainly feel that way because we were up by so much. So, for our season, look, there was a lot of great things you got to take out of the first half. You got to find a way to do that for 48 minutes against the Pistons because that should be a simple win, but it never is for the Raptors against the Pistons and against Dwayne Casey. So this team's going to have to find a way to play a 48-minute game and win that game because you do not want to slip under 500. And even if we did, like it's like there's a whole long season ahead. The Raptors last year, mid-December, were a 500 team. They exploded second half of the season. They got Pascal Siakam back up to 100%. They went on to win 48 games. There's no reason why we can't go and do that this season. No need to overreact to a rough stretch of games. Scottie Barnes, there's no need to talk about regretting not trading him. There's no need to talk about how he's a bust. No need for that. Is there a reason to talk about him playing like shit and needing to be better? I think so, and I've said my piece. But there's no need to blow it up and just completely shut down everything because you lost 2 really bad games in a row. This team will be back. This team will bounce back. This is a good team. It's too good to play like this all the time. So we'll be back. We'll be better. This is depressing, though. This feels worse than yesterday because yesterday, from start to finish, it was over. Today, these guys really let themselves down in the fourth quarter. So that's how it is. If you still enjoyed what I had to say, make sure, drop a like. Goes a long way to supporting the content, and subscribe.